Peace and blessings, Israel. First and foremost, I want to take this time and give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh through his only begotten Son, Yahweh Shai, for allowing this word to come out. And I hope you sincere brothers and sisters is edified by this word. And the name of the lesson is called Sign of the End Times, Biblical News, Volume 212. And in this edition, we're going to speak about a first grade teacher buying meth while at school, while on duty at school. Yeah, man. Each week, man, we try to bring you something in the world that points that we are in the sign of the end times. In this particular week, we're going to focus on a first grade teacher who attempted to buy meth while she was at work at school. Could you imagine that? A first grade teacher, all right, scoring dope while she's on her post at work. All right, this is not to judge this individual. I mean, everybody kind of, do their own thing. But this is clearly a sign of the end times, because you got to say to yourself, I remember when I was in the first grade, you would have never heard these type of stories during this particular time. But today is a whole different ball game. And this just furthermore lets you know that we in dangerous times, man, when you have a first grade teacher tries to buy an 8-ball of meth while at school, man. So could you imagine all these kids that she teach? If, you don't even know who, when you're sending your kids to school, you have no clue who's teaching and leading your kids, man. And this is a first grade teacher that does crystal meth or gets high off meth, man, to the point where she's getting the drugs. She's attempting to get these drugs at the very school that she's teaching, man. According to CNN, man, it says a Florida first grade teacher tried to buy an 8-ball of meth while at school, authorities say. It says a Florida teacher is facing felony drug charges after police say she tried to buy meth while teaching. Valerie Lee Prince, a first grade teacher at Jacksonville Heights Elementary School in Jacksonville, was in contact with an undercover officer with the Clay County Sheriff's Office, according to a news release. An audio recording that CCSO made and provided to the media revealed a woman talking to an officer about buying an $85, aka 8-ball, aka eighth of an ounce of meth. The woman, who the CCSO identified as Prince, is heard telling the undercover officer he can come to the school before the kids arrive at 8 in the morning or during her lunch break at 11 in the morning. Listen to this, man. So you got a teacher, man, that's trying to get meth drugs either before she began to teach or on her lunch break, man. These are the people that we are trusting to teach our kids, educate our kids, man. It said, the article goes on to say, it was a pretty nonchalant request, and the indication was it was no big deal to the suspect, according to Clay County Sergeant Vincent Hall. The article says the teacher intended to lead a classroom of the first graders to buy the narcotics, use some, and save the rest for her boyfriend. Come on, man. I can't make this up, man. It says the teacher intended to leave the classroom of her first graders to buy the narcotics, then use some and save the rest for her boyfriend. This is somebody, again, that's supposed to be teaching your first grade son or daughter. And this woman scores meth. Her intentions was to get the meth, okay, use some of it, say the rest for a boyfriend, and continue to go back to teaching the classroom as if nothing happened. Now you got to say to yourself, how can your child get the most effective learning, tools when you got a teacher that's intoxicated off meth, man? So this is where we at today, man. It says the CCSO actually made the arrest after school, Hall said, and Prince was charged with possession of meth. It goes on to say, in a case like this, for a teacher to be willing to leave a classroom, leave those children, and to have the intent to go consume any degree of narcotics and then return to the classroom setting where she has care of children is unacceptable. Dude, it's beyond unacceptable. It's preposterous, man. It's I'm gonna keep my language PG on this one, because I could really cuss this person out, man. It's dude, unbelievable. The article goes on to say Prince also admitted she used meth 10 times within the last 5 to 6 months, man. It says CNN has reached out to Duval County Public School Board for comment, but has not heard back. It was not clear as of Saturday whether Prince has retained an attorney. Prince is being held at the Clay County Jail. She is scheduled to be arraigned on March 10th, court record shows. Could you imagine this, man? Again, what's the name of the lesson, man? Sign of the End Times, Biblical News, Volume 212, man. And this is regarding a first grade teacher buying meth at school. And in Titus chapter 2, verse 7, man, and I'm going to paraphrase, but it pretty much talks about, and you yourself must be an example to them by doing good works of every kind. Let everything you do reflect the integrity and seriousness of your teaching. Okay, these are biblical principles for those who deal with the Bible, who are teachers, and this also applies into the world as far as a person that's a teacher, a person that has integrity, a person that's being trusted upon, okay, to do the right thing. Okay, so for those who don't understand, man, the power of meth, man, okay, when a person gets high off meth, okay, they are really indulging in what they call meth intoxication. All right. And intoxication, man, we already know you're not in your right state. If you're intoxicated, how can you, as a teacher, or if you under the influence, okay, as a teacher, how can you effectively do your job, man? I mean, intoxication. In Proverbs 20:1, it says, wine is a mocker, strong drink is raging, and whosoever is deceived thereby is not wise. Just like wine is a strong drink and you can get drunk from it, it also says, and whosoever is deceived. Now, the deceived that it's talking about is someone that's intoxicated. Okay? And if you're intoxicated, that means you are not wise. And that's the same thing when you're getting high off meth. You are intoxicating your body, man, with a narcotic, man. Yeah. But see, what Yahushua says in 18:6, it says, but whoso shall offend one of these little ones which believe in me, it were better for him that a millstone were hanged about his neck, and that he were drowned in the depths of the sea. And this teacher, okay, has offended the little ones, okay, especially those that come from a household that believe in Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahushua. Especially in a household where you got individuals that are Christians or believers of God in Christ. You are offending one of his little ones when you have somebody that's a teacher that's under the influence of meth, and you are in the care of these people's children, and your job is to educate them. But here you is tweaking. You see? What it say on the screen, man? The truth about crystal meth and methamphetamines. They call it ice, Tina, Chrissy, speed, tweak, meth, glass. And this is exactly what this teacher allegedly, okay, has been charged with, man. Could you imagine that? Could you imagine dropping your first grade son or daughter off to school and not knowing the whole time that their teacher is a person that gets high on the job and at the same time teaching your kids? Now, how can she be effective doing that if she's intoxicated off meth? Cold-blooded, man. Cold-blooded. What's the name of the lesson, man? Sign of the End Times, Biblical News, Volume 212, man. First grade teacher, okay, buys meth at school. Attempts to buy meth at school, man. And she's already told you, according to CNN, she's done this about 10 times in the last 5 to 6 months, man. As a closing remark in this word, okay, if this is found to be true regarding this teacher by the name of, I want to say, Valerie Lee Prince, okay, if this is true, I think we need to really, or those that's close to her, I think if they really care for her, they should seek help for her. You know, because obviously there's a disease there, there's an addiction there that needs to be addressed, man. And any time that you can have drugs, attempt to buy drugs at your school, or have the dope man or whoever bring you drugs to your school, not when you off work in the comforts of your home, but while you're on the job at school, that's somebody that's really, really deeply involved in meth, man. And that's somebody that needs help, man. It's a disease. It's an addiction. And I'm telling you, man, I hope that this individual, if this is true, I hope this individual is able to get the therapy and the help that they need, man. And hopefully this will shed the light on many others of our profession that are doing these type of drugs, and at the same time, we are entrusting them as public figures, man. I hope you sincere brothers and sisters was edified by this word, and we give all praises, glory, and honor to Yahweh through his only begotten son, Yahushua, for allowing this word to come out, man. Shalom.